Hey, what's up, everybody? Mogion Monster here, along with the lovely Stevie B.
Hey.
Welcome to Why the Fascination, or WTF as we like to call it. Hope
Hello.
everybody's doing well. Good to see everybody in chat already.
Hello, everybody.
Danny Staten, welcome. Hey, Sharon. Hey, be careful driving tomorrow if you got to go through that nasty weather you were talking about. Yeah, I noticed there's a lot of nasty weather going up from the Gulf Coasts. So be careful out there. Lester Taylor, what's up, buddy?
Sharon Guy. How you doing, Sharon? Danny, greetings.
Greetings from South Carolina.
Greetings.
What's up, Blazer?
Lester, good to see you.
Yeah, since there was only a few here when we got here, it's easy to keep track. I don't even have to scroll back.
I'm scrolling back and see you all over chatting there. That's cool.
Pammy, what's
hey.
up, girl? Good to see you. Hope you're doing good.
Great.
Pammy is my sister. Same mother and father, you know, sister.
Sister of Moog.
It's not a term of endearment.
Danny said nothing but bad weather here, raining 5 days.
Wow. Grasshopper.
It's been raining a lot here too.
I forgot what day it was.
Me too. No, seriously, I asked not long before the show started. I'm like, what's today? It's Tuesday?
Is this the Tuesday show or the Thursday show?
Right.
It's all good.
Good, Sharon. I'm glad to hear that.
Glaciers forming in Iowa. All right.
She's doing better. Grasshopper.
Raining in Seattle. Go figure.
Go figure.
Yeah, I'm not even going to talk about our weather. You want to know my weather? Go look it up. Because I'm not rubbing it in.
Yeah, but it's
but this is the weather where people get sick. Because we're like, it's been, we've had wind chill warnings, and it's been 30 plus degrees out in the mornings, and this week, the next 4 days starting tomorrow, is going to be in the 80s. So
today was like 72.
Yeah,
and it was gorgeous, but it doesn't seem right.
The 72 doesn't, because next week it's going to be just like 70s across the board.
Yeah, I mean
this week is going to be 80s.
But from going from 30s, 40s to 70s, that's not right. I mean, we've literally had 20-degree temperature changes within 24 hours.
Everybody's thinking, oh, the 80s, that would be fucking awesome. And it's
no,
I mean,
I don't want it yet. Not yet. We haven't had enough cool.
It's weird because, it's a beautiful day and everything. And I mean, my job, I'm on the water but it's just, I'm not ready to sweat again.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, that sounds messed up, but this past summer was so freaking hot.
It was brutal. It was just fucking brutal.
It kind of jilted me. I'm like, give me 70s. I'm good.
Right. But to stay
Papa Craig, what's
consistent, 70s, not 40s and 50s.
Well, no, it's going to be 4 days of like 80s, and the lows are going to be consistently in the 50s or 60s, in the 60s.
See, and that's normal.
And then next week it's going to, be 70s, and the lows are going to be consistently in the 50s.
But the past few days it's been 30s and then highs 50, and then
I'd rather be consistently one.
Yes.
Just this time of year, I don't want it hot.
No, I'm not ready for it. I'm not ever ready for it, but I'm really not ready for it. Not now. Although yesterday we found a swimming hole not far in the forest.
Yeah, so we went up to Ocala National Forest yesterday. Go ahead.
No, I finished.
You can tell the
I said the swimming hole.
Yeah, it was called Wildcat something. preserve or park or something.
Oh, check it out, Grasshopper. There's a Grasshopper Lake not too far from us.
Yeah.
We passed the sign. We both looked at each other and smiled.
It's a grasshopper.
Grasshopper.
Lester says 30s this week, shorts and tank top weather.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
I'd imagine.
Northwoods, what's up, buddy? Mike Kirkpatrick, great to see you.
Hey, good to see you.
Miss you, buddy.
Right?
Get in touch.
Should.
Well, you should.
Mike was your very first guest,
I can
Wasn't
get
he?
in touch with him too.
wasn't he? He was your
My
first guest?
first interview.
Yeah.
And second, third, and fourth.
Yeah. That's
I don't know,
cool.
Mike. Did we do a fifth too? He's been on, but
Don't think of it this way, Mike.
those were my first.
Mike
my
was
first,
the one that initiated the come hang out. Just y'all talked about a lot. Mike has some good stories.
Mike had stories, ghost stories, Squatch stories,
Yes.
UFO stories. He ran the gambit, and
You asked
those
the
are
question.
like three something years ago.
Yeah.
Over
3.5
3.5 years ago,
Yeah.
or
I believe
longer.
that. No, I think those were 4 years.
Howling Underdog
Right.
Films, what's up,
I
Chuck?
think that was 4 years ago. It was 3.5
Yeah, that was
when
about
you went
4
live.
years ago.
I think it was 3.5 when you went
Almost
live.
4. Doesn't matter.
It was still a long time
I'll sit here
ago.
and dwell on it.
No.
But yeah, he had his Bigfoot encounter that was in Louisiana, Toledo Bend.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that was.
I
don't know
know
if it's a Sabine River or.
I know I've listened to them. It's just been so long.
Yeah, I still remember the shit.
Of course you do.
But I know it's Toledo Bend. He always said I should have made a right, like meaning when they were going, him and his girlfriend or wife, right, the individual he was with, I'll put it that way. Kind of, they had an option: go right, stay in Texas; go left, go to Louisiana. And they went to Louisiana and had their experience.
Mike, good night. Good to see you. You got to stop by.
Mike, it's all good, brother.
We get it.
I'm just glad you're well. I hope you're well. I see you're here, so I know you're still kicking. But great to see you, brother. Hang in there.
So yeah, we went to the forest, took a ride, went and explored, trying to find a lake.
Took a
but
couple videos. I didn't download them though. It was only like 30 seconds here. 30
He's
seconds
taking
there.
videos, I take a fall. I did. I busted my
I
ass.
turn around. I'm filming, and I heard it, and I kept filming. And I pointed the camera away, and I looked, and I was like, "Oh shit, I can't film this."
I heard him say
There's a
it.
leg over here.
I-
Oh shit.
He's not lying. I heard him say it as I'm like back on the ground. I landed soft. I landed like in a soft bed of grass, real tall grass. It wasn't tall when I was done with it, but
So I couldn't. I just.
so I'm laying there, not I'm
You
wanting to
hear it.
laugh, but no, you don't want to hear it.
No, well, I filmed like.
I know.
You hear it behind me, and I'm like, 'cause I don't know if all I heard was, "Oh fuck, shit,
Because
for timber."
I fell forward and I kind of threw myself to the right so I wouldn't like face plant in the weeds.
Lulubelle, how are you? And the way that she fell, or twisted, and her leg just popped her right off.
Yeah, just boom, gone. I thought I broke the pin that holds it on. That's supposed to fucking hold it on.
No, it didn't broke. It
It
break.
didn't break.
It broke. Yeah. You got well English. It just unthreaded.
It did. Allowed it to pull my whole leg off. So I'm laying there on my back. I'm like, help, help.
Get me out of the leaves.
That was the
Get
first
me
thing.
out of the leaves.
I said, get my head out of the weeds. The way I was laid
I'm
back,
like looking for
I've
gators.
got grass coming up on both sides of my head. I feel my hair mushed. I'm like, get me out of the weeds.
So, guys, again, welcome.
I guess we probably should have mentioned we were on a lake, the bed of a lake, and we had already seen like gator patches where they nest at night. We
weren't far from it.
We weren't far from that.
I had my dog with me, Maya, and just made sure she was nowhere near the water. And every time she started to wander off, because I didn't have her on a leash,
we were calling her back, calling her away.
But I had a knife on my side. She had a knife. We just, we were ready in that sense. I don't carry firearms, so.
I do, but I'm working on mine.
Oops.
But no, it was, all things considered, it was fun. We ended up, we went after that specific lake. He found it on a map. And we were just trying to find fishing holes, close, to the southern edge of a Cala forest. And we get there, and neither one of us have been back there before. So we're looking around. There's really nowhere to fish there.
Yeah, there's a lake there, but getting a spot on the shoreline is there might be somewhere out there, but
there was none within a decent walking distance. So we gave up on that one, hopped back in the truck and drove back out, but we didn't go all the way out to the main road. We took a couple detours and just explored and found a little town there. And was it Astor?
Yeah, Astor, Florida. We went up there, and the St. Johns River runs through it. So we found a spot, and we fished underneath the bridge.
It was cool. It was a drawbridge.
Big old drawbridge.
Yeah.
And didn't catch anything there. I don't think yesterday we caught anything.
No, weather was turning kind of bad. It was getting windy and drizzly. It was definitely cloudy and cool.
Hang in there, Papa. This is I have the crew along with my grandson.
Oh, wow. My daughter had that. It's not
saying prayers for you, man. Bobby, how are you?
We did fish for a while. I got a bite over by the pier. There was a restaurant, and where we parked was in a parking lot of a restaurant.
Big old sign we're parked in front of that says no fishing, no loitering, blah, blah, blah. We're like, well, this place is closed, so
they're not open on Mondays, and there was a crew working over on redoing a pavilion, so they were the only ones out there. We saw a couple people walk by, and that one lady in the golf cart rode under the bridge. But
so was that song Wipeout going through your mind?
Right. Yeah, it was a cool spot. I got a bite over by the pier. There was right outside the back of the restaurant. There was the boat docks,
and we drove around and just checked out, different spots, different lakes. There's so many lakes back there and ponds, and well, one's called a pond.
Cala Forest has over 600 lakes. Over 600. Now they could be size of a pond, or the couple that we saw. Yes, there was a couple yesterday we saw. They were really good size. Boat launches. You can see pull-offs where people launch.
But they're in the middle of the forest, so they're primitive boat launches.
They're not
like they're just primitive. They're like.
If you ever want spare boat parts, just drive through the forest.
We got to pull in. We pull into this area and look, and there's just a boat sitting there on the ground. It's this old Bayliner. Old. It's got to be 80s or whatever.
Yeah, it's easily
just sitting there,
80s.
and people had dumped shit in it, and it's just not even on a trailer. It's just on the ground.
Yeah.
It was just a shame because I was like, oh, this is cool back. What the fuck?
Yeah, right. And then we drive further into the forest, and I think coming back from Astor, we seen another boat sitting on the side of the road.
Yeah.
It's just odd to see driving through the forest and you see all the boats people abandoned.
Mr. Hugh, how's it going? Papa Craig says I used to be able to play Wipeout on the drums for the high school marching band.
Actually, I learned how to play it too. A friend of mine growing up, her dad was a drummer for a local band and he taught us how to play Wipeout.
It's a fast one, isn't it?
It is. It's fun though.
It's
not that difficult.
Yeah, now I got it.
Yeah.
And I missed.
Yeah, it's just repetitive.
Yeah.
It's funny. I forgot about that. I don't know how to play that.
I never got into instruments. It sucks.
He taught us that in the air tonight. Phil Collins. Yeah. A couple of Phil Collins songs actually. Not sure I would remember how to play either one now. Mr. Hugh, good to see you. Morning.
Hey, Michael. Michael Haywood.
Michael Haywood.
Where you been?
Right?
You're late.
How you been?
You know what? I gotta do something real quick. So yeah, we're gonna start. We went so far up into the forest, and I think maybe we went 20 miles up from here. At least maybe 25. And we're just gonna start heading north, more up 19, and start from that point and start exploring that way. But it's just so much,
Exploring places.
so many roads, and they're all sand. The other thing is we got to watch. Getting stuck.
It's almost as bad as driving in snow.
Yeah, it feels like it because you hit these. Like we went down this road that was
patches.
It was fresh. Like they put new sand down, and you can see where people went through. But there were also areas where it was just like a strip of untouched, so it was really deep. And we hit that, it just starts sliding like it was in snow. I was like, oh shit, I haven't felt this in years.
Cammy, hey, sorry I said that weird. I was looking up at the same time.
Hey, Kim. How you doing? I feel like I'm being set up. They're both here.
That's cool.
You guys have met Kim before. She's my other sister. I'm looking for... Why doesn't it...
What are you looking for?
This show.
Okay, can't help you.
No, it's weird. I actually have to look up my show for it to come on. All right, let me...
Hey, Bobby. Good to see you.
I can't do anything like from here as far as if I want to do something on YouTube.
Sometimes I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, because I like spontaneously react and like wipe out everybody. I just threw somebody a wrench. Did it show up yet?
No. Not yet.
Well, I hope it did. So yeah, guys, now that we're like, how far into this are we?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. For anybody that's new, welcome. What we do is I'll put the link in chat, and anybody can come on and hang out. You got something you want to talk about, story you want to tell, just want to hang out. Click on the link, follow the directions.
No, it did.
Come hang out. If you don't want to be on camera, you just hit stop camera at the bottom of the screen. You don't have to be on camera. I do ask is that when you come on StreamYard is turn off YouTube in the background. Just to shut that window out so we don't get that nasty feedback. Mr. Haywood, looking a little blue there.
He's like, wait, what?
Hey, Sue. Yeah, right. You probably didn't realize it.
G'day, Sue. Good to see you.
OCST. What's up, bud? Welcome. OCST, where do you guys research in Oklahoma? Like the only place I've been is in Oklahoma is Brown Springs. I camped out there one night.
I've driven through Oklahoma.
Gary Senior. But that's the only thing I know is right there in the Red River.
A couple times.
It's right on the border, right, where I was.
I've actually driven through Oklahoma a couple times. Never stopped either time. I was on a mission to either get home or get out to the coast. Just getting through, passing through. But I think it's a beautiful state.
Bristol, how are you?
I always said there's something about the air in Oklahoma. It just seems clear and crisp. And
Well, that's where the wind comes whipping down the plains.
yeah, I know. No, I like Oklahoma. I wish I had time to stay, explore a little bit. But
I was just passing through.
me too.
But I wasn't in that much of a hurry, so I could camp out at night. And it was cold as shit. Oh my God. It was that 2 years ago?
Yeah. Wow.
That's when I was driving back to Arizona. First night I camped out in Louisiana. Hung out with Claude Knoll, and then the next night I drove up to
Sorry.
Oklahoma.
I was laughing at Mr. Hugh. He said, Sir Michael Haywood, your knees must be sore.
I read it and I didn't get it. Now I get it. No. That was just I was compelled to do that. I don't know why. I was like, oh, you know what? So why not?
I just happened to look down and saw Mr. Hughes' statement there.
Yeah, from being knighted. Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
I think you only go down on one knee for that, but whatever. We are located southwest of Oklahoma, 45 miles north of the Red River and 90 miles south of Oklahoma City in Lawton, Oklahoma.
Bristol. Hey. Lulu Bell. Hey, Lulu.
Trying to think. Yeah, I didn't go through Oklahoma City.
I was on the outskirts.
No, I was south of it, but I was directly south of it. I think it was like 3 hours from Oklahoma City to the border.
Oh.
And I couldn't see going 3 hours north and then hanging a left.
Yeah, right.
So I dropped down and over the Texas border and hung a right and kind of like back road, just straight run, where I didn't have to go all the way out of the way. It saved so much time.
You said off I-44.
Okay. All right. I don't know if I did that before, but the link is in chat.
You did.
Just
Once.
double checking.
Just once.
I did. I threw a couple lines out here today after work. I had a couple lines in for about an hour, and I caught a nice crappie. It was probably a little over 12 inches, so that was cool. But what's really cool is I caught it on the
cane pole.
It's I mean that's the best way to call it, but it's fiberglass.
It's the modern.
It's a telescoping fiberglass 10-foot pole, or 12. That one's 12. I broke one of my 14-footers. I stepped on it.
And I still haven't caught a fish.
That's the way it is out here. It's like weird. I catch them like one. Crappie wise, usually crappie school up, but now there's a full moon tonight, so we're close to a full moon, so that's going to change things.
I can go just 20 yards on the other bend right here and catch bass. I haven't tried catching crappie over there. Every time I go over there, I catch a bass. Can't catch shit outside the back door. I'm not really trying lately anyways. Not that much. I mean, I go out and cast a couple and
yeah, but
I gotta spend time, you know.
Half the time I don't even stand there and like watch my poles because I have them in a pole holder.
Yeah, he'll be in the house.
I'll come in
and
the
all
house,
of a sudden,
grab a cup of coffee. I'm standing at the window, like drinking the coffee, watching my bobbers.
or he'll get distracted and forget about it, and then all of a sudden you see him dart to the window.
Do a couple dishes, go back to the window. And they're not doing a damn thing. Good fishing. Lake Latonka is near by us. Good fishing and Bigfoot and dogman sightings. You can keep your dogman sightings.
Bristol said when the full moon hits, bass are going to be on the beds hard.
I have 2 acres of lily pads outside my door. I'd say that's about 2 acres.
I could probably
Easily.
reach in and grab one.
And these guys come in and they use those poles, but they're on the boat.
I forgot to tell you this morning when I went to leave for work. It's still dark when I leave. There was a boat out there. I almost wanted to wake you up to come see it. They had like neon lights all around the hull.
Yeah.
For fishing, and they were just sitting anchored right outside the lily pads there. I took a picture, but it was so bright, it just looks like a big white mass sitting on the water. Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty cool. They had red, white, and blue lights, and then the trim was that bright green.
Hey, Rex, welcome.
I wish I had time to stay and watch. I was curious to see if they were bringing anything in. I mean, you figure it was like 6 this morning. Sun wasn't up yet.
It's still dark.
Yeah.
I mean,
sun wasn't up yet. They looked like when I came out, they'd been there for a while already. It was cool.
we have the highest rate of dogman sightings per capita around the world here. Interesting. Hey, Jane, welcome. Just popping in to say hi. Right on. Hi.
Look, that's the best I could get. No, you don't even have to. You see the white dot?
Yeah, that's weird.
It was very, very lit up. I got to the back door and I was like, what?
Bristol says, crappie are hitting good down my way. Buddy and his two brothers limited out last weekend. Right on.
What's the limit?
I don't even know what it is here. I have no idea.
I was asking Bristol.
I think what is it, 25 each?
Is it?
In
I don't
Florida?
know.
Yeah, I think so. Remember we were catching them in Jessup.
And we got 22. I think we got more than that. In the end, we were giving them away.
Limit is 25.
Okay.
Do. Still got that damn song stuck in my head. It's been like a week. Won't go away.
We play it on the radio a lot. Not a lot.
I heard it once today.
I heard
On
it
the
once
radio.
today.
I was surprised.
I heard it this morning.
Lester says, I need some walleye young.
Yum.
Yeah. Walleye is young. We don't have walleye in Florida.
Mm-mm.
Or smallmouth.
Culvers.
Or northern pike. I miss those fish. Well, no, when I was up in Wisconsin, it was like walleye were just like, that was, people would just show up at the exact same time and hop in the water and fish. I mean, like, well, not in the water, they, line shore. And just, they were there for walleye. And it was at, one specific time they'd show up, fish till it got dark.
That's cool.
No, I've got this Jackson Dean song called, well, I think it's called The Echo, but everybody knows it as Fearless.
Tell Christy I said hi. So she says hi, but she needs sleep.
Good night, Christy. Sylvia's mother has been stuck in my head, for fuck's sake. Leslie, your wife will be madder than hell. Sharon, how are you?
Hey, good to see you. Hope everything's going good. Still praying for your daughter.
Indeed. How is she?
I hope I haven't heard from her. Then again,
Well,
I haven't
asking
reached
her,
out
I'm asking
either.
you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's we gotta get a prayer list going. Serious, let's just start writing down names. And it's weird. I feel it's gonna sound weird, but when I pray for someone, if I send out, good vibes or whatever, I usually want to know the person's name.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
to
that
say
makes
Sharon's daughter, I don't know. I know the intent is there, and I'm assuming the prayer is reached.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's just like, but it's got to be redirected. It's like, I know that sounds weird, but
So she's doing very well. She's made a very rare recovery. She's back at home in less than a week. I know, that's amazing.
that's fantastic.
That is so amazing.
That's great.
Power of prayer. I believe in it.
Oh, it works.
Oh, I know it
Definitely
does.
works.
I know it does. Oh, she said it. Power of prayer is real.
Indeed. Yeah, Pop, if you want to pop on, that's up to you, buddy.
No,
No, you can't.
you're not allowed.
Okay, I just dropped the link. There you go. All right. Good evening.
Good evening. Oh, there I am.
That's better. How you doing?
I feel like crap. Man.
Yeah. Croup.
Me and you both.
Yeah, Stevie's not doing well today either. She's just feeling feverish and achy.
I feel like I got
Oh.
my ass kicked
She keeps falling down.
twice. See, I
I know.
told y'all about falling in the woods. I fell in a store today. Kind of. I stumbled over a tub that this lady put down at the register right as I was turning around. So I kind of stumbled over it, went forward, and my right hand hit the floor, but I was okay. Just everything hurts from yesterday's fall. So I feel like I got my ass kicked twice.
It wasn't me, I promise.
No, wouldn't.
Gravity took care of that.
Oh, every time.
Just
Yeah, I had a hell of a morning. I just left the house for work and get not even a mile or so up the road, and it was wet. I guess it rained. People I talked to said that it rained probably about 5 o'clock in the morning. I left about 6, so everything was still dark and damp. I'm about 2 car lengths from the vehicle in front of me and stayed that distance for a good mile and a half or so. And I saw the car tap the brake, so I kind of let off the gas and put my foot on the brake. Then all of a sudden he stops quick, so quick that by the time I cruised up to him, if I would have tried to stop, I would have slid right into him. I jerked the wheel to the right. I can't go to the left because I see headlights coming the opposite direction. I pull it to the right, pull off the road in the grass. All of a sudden I see a street sign in front of me, so I'm swerving to hit, from keeping from hitting that, and ended up back on the road. But as I'm doing all that, right beside me, the 2 vehicles that stopped, the one in the front, I see the one in the back goes under the bumper of the SUV in front, and that SUV picks up and boom, as I'm passing it and trying to dodge the street sign. I ended up back on the road. There was another truck that was in front that he ended up going off the left. So by the time we both recovered and got back on the road again, I'm behind him and we're doing maybe 20 miles an hour. Both of us. I really just wanted to stop, but I knew I couldn't. So I get down the road probably about 2-3 more miles and hit the last gas station before I get on the back roads, and pulled off and kind of recovered. Figured I need gas, so I went in and get gas, and that's where I fell coming out of that. So yeah, my morning was not good.
that's all before she got to work.
That's before I got to work. Yeah, and work wasn't much better. It started off okay. It was good and quiet. It gave me time to kind of get myself together, and on top of that, I felt like I had a fever. I still do. I feel like, that heaviness in your head when you're trying to come down with a cold. I'm not trying to come down with a cold.
I don't want it.
I don't want it either. Not at all. I've been drinking a lot of water. And
so your grandson's under the weather as well?
Yeah, the little fart. Has been since Christmas.
Oh, jeez.
I'm hearing that a lot, so much lately.
That croupy thing won't go away. I don't know what it is. It's got that
Jim, how are you?
It's got that white, funny tasting mucus,
Oh, fun.
How exciting. Yeah, I woke up in cold sweats about, 3 times last night.
Oh.
Yeah, it's going like...
That's from what, reoccurring fever?
I guess.
Fever breaks, comes back? I don't know.
That's what it sounds like.
LIB, what's up, Mike?
Yeah.
Ellen, how are you?
I'm not gonna lie. When I pulled over at the gas station, I sat there and I did say a prayer because I don't know how I got out of that. It all happened so quick and then seeing the sign in front of me, I just knew I was gonna hit that. I was able to swerve and miss that without hitting anybody else. All the while, the accident's happening right beside me. So yeah, it was.
Saw a sign.
We see.
No, you told me that shit. I was like, what? You dodged a bullet. You're lucky.
I did.
That's good.
I thank God.
You dodged a sign.
I did.
First the car, then
Yeah, this stuff's fun. It burns all your mucous membranes and all that stuff, so...
Northwood says the worst I felt was when my kids were all in school and brought home something nasty that put me out of commission for 48 hours.
Nice!
Little bastards.
House full of kids. There was always something going on.
See, I'm getting it already.
Not for me. Not my fault.
So, I've had all my life I've been out in the woods a lot, right? When I got out of the Army, I went and lived in the woods for a while, chill out. The whole friggin' world hated me, so I just did what a lot of Vietnam vets did, go to the mountains, and wasn't going to come back. But nice thing is I got a lot of it sorted out, I guess. Got lonely. Man, you get lonely. So I came home, but during that time, there was about 4 or 5 years that I would go up there a lot, you know, like for months. And most of the time, nothing. And if I went with white people, nothing. Nothing at all. But I had a Nez Perce friend and a Hunk Papa friend and a Paiute friend. And when I would go up with them, weird things would happen.
Really?
Huh.
Yeah, so one night, I always used to play a little, half-hour lullaby in the evening before we fell asleep on my harmonica. And nobody said stop. But sometimes when I would quit playing, I would hear this screaming up on the mountain.
Wow.
First time I heard that was 1968, with 4 of us carrying a really sick young lady out of the mountains on a improvised stretcher, and we got screamed at all the way down in the middle of the night by 3. What my friend said, that those are Bigfoot up there. That's what's doing that. And we also followed down this 4-mile long canyon, hanging U-shaped valley with a meadow in the bottom of it. We got followed down that thing by 3 orbs, about the size of a volleyball, and they were ever so slightly bluish. You know, they were white and ever so slightly bluish. And a few of the guys were arguing about whether they were, you know, that's just lanterns and stuff. And I'm looking, I'm going, they're too high in the air, they're moving wrong, and we don't have any lanterns or flashlights of that color. In those days, they were all, you know, yellow tinted.
Yellow, yeah.
And we saw the orbs and heard the screaming as we were trying to adjust our hold on the stretcher. And we did that and got ready to go down the hill, and all of our flashlights went dead at the same time.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
They just, you know, over 10 seconds, they just faded and went, and we're banging on them, and we're going like, fuck, these are new batteries. What the hell? You know, so we turned the lights off quick and just tried to leave one on. It didn't work, but it didn't matter. We were in that open meadow. We'd go through groves of trees, but it was a really bright moon out. We're like 7,500 feet, so the moon gets really bright up there. I don't remember whether it was full or not, but pretty close.
Well, Lester said if they were screaming, maybe you should practice more. He said, just kidding.
Just kidding.
Oh, that's a very... we had no practice. We were kids.
How many years? That was wrong.
But anyway, so yeah, we...
Bigfoot King, what's up, buddy?
Welcome.
I didn't even see you, dude.
Welcome.
That was
Sorry.
It's all right. That was an all night long deal there, and we got the girl to the hospital on time. That was what we were really freaked out. That seemed like the other things were like an annoyance or something, because we were so scared for that girl. So anyway, my friend who said that's Bigfoot went and told it was the Earth Science field trip, and she told the teacher that took us on the Earth Science field trip that Bigfoot was screaming at us, and she says, don't even talk about it, don't say anything about it again. We'll never get to go on one of these field trips again, and everybody will think you guys are Looney Tunes. So we never talked about it again, and they never did the field trip again.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
So then, you know, lots of little experiences like that. I would hear that scream sometimes, especially when I got done playing the harmonica. And I remember it was screaming to my friend Larry. He's the Paiute. He was going. And I said, our friend Colby says that that's a Bigfoot. And he goes, huh, sounds like a banshee to me.
Oh.
I'm going, oh, that's comforting.
Oh.
Yeah, that's really comforting. So that was the kind of stuff, and probably even saw one once. But anyway,
Go ahead.
in 2018, we were camped at a family reunion in a little campground across the valley, on the very edge of the valley, in our motorhome, and Nana jumped over me in the middle of the night. We were sleeping on the top, and she jumped over me and down onto the floor. And she's a little old lady then. She don't do that stuff. Extremely overweight little old lady. And she's down there shaking and looking. I saw her looking out the window and going. And later on she says when she looked out the window, it was completely covered with hair. And she rubbed her eyes and it was gone. But, you know, the next morning, I asked her if she needed any help or anything. She goes, no, I'm just going to sleep down here. Next morning, she says, when you get your coffee, would you go out there and look and see if any of those cherry tree leaves on those branches out there could possibly be lined up in a way to look like Bigfoot eyes? And I go, okay. I just went out there and looked, and
No tree.
no tree. I go, no, there ain't any tree out there. Did you see a Bigfoot? She goes, yeah. And I laughed at her. And she didn't talk about it for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So in 2020, we fired the cable company, or we fired them before that, right? And I went online and heard that Steve Isdall on How to Hunt guy, right? I was watching, I clicked on him because I thought, I just wanted to, I like hunting, and I just wanted to see if this guy knew anything about hunting. And he was talking about Bigfoot, and what an asshole you are if you laugh at your loved ones for telling you they saw a big one, a Bigfoot. So I'm going like, you really saw one, didn't you? Because she spent 2 years like watching every episode of Not Finding Bigfoot, 2 or 3 times.
Not finding Bigfoot.
She caught the bug.
Everybody
But-
did it.
Yeah, until I finally went, they're never going to find it because they're not doing anything right. They'd be lucky to find a tame doe.
Bigfoot King, what's up, man? How are you?
Not too bad. It's nice to be here with you guys tonight.
You as well, man. No, I happened to see your channel, and I was kind of curious, like, well, what's all this about? And I'm still scratching my head because I don't know where the comedy starts, and
It's cool.
I enjoy your channel, man.
We
We
enjoyed
kind of
it.
binge watched the other day.
We did.
We got about halfway through everything you have out so far.
Well, the thing is that it's just designed to be, a majority of it is parody, but I like to keep things on the lighter side of it. I'm not. I do go and do investigations, as you can see by the YouTube channel. I do go out there. I'm deep in the bush. I spend enough time out there. Like I say, I should be paying rent, but on the same token, I like to do the lighter side too, because everybody takes it so seriously, and there's a time for that.
Yeah, they
But
do.
we need to joke around too.
Yeah, and I definitely encourage everybody to go check out the Bigfoot King. Check out his channel. Subscribe. He's new. What are you? You're still under 100 subscribers, I think.
Oh yeah, it's a new channel, but it'll definitely give you a smile and a laugh on some of them, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, we binged it a couple nights ago, and we got about halfway through your videos. It was cool. We had a good time.
And if you guys do watch, you'll see he's carrying a shotgun a lot of the time. He's not out there hunting Bigfoot.
Oh,
No.
definitely not. The areas that I go is very thick with grizzly bear up there, like very thick.
Where are you?
So it's
You're
just
in, BC or
yeah, it's in northern Canada and British Columbia. northeast and northwest. It's in British Columbia. If you guys know where that is or not. But.
Yeah.
I've been to Prince Rupert. Took a
Oh
boat
yeah,
there.
gorgeous place out there too. Gorgeous place out there.
Been up and down
Thank
the
you for
inland.
your service there, Papa.
Huh?
Thank you for your service,
Oh.
boss.
I didn't get told that for about 50 years.
No, that's they sort of left everybody behind.
So anyway,
Were you in the service?
No, I was not. Always not. I come from a family that's been in service. It's called the Princess Patricia up here, the Armed Forces, Canadian Armed Forces. But myself, no.
Okay.
But raised by my father, that's in the Army. It's I felt like I was in the Army, to be honest with you.
Stevie was in the Army.
Nice.
I did. I joined the Navy, but in basic training, I found out I had scoliosis. So,
Oh, is that right?
yeah, so I ended up just getting discharged.
Well, that's debilitating. I have my daughter has a similar thing to that, boss.
Well, you'll see me. I'll sit here, and all of a sudden, you'll see me straighten up because one shoulder's higher than the other. So I always try to like put an arm up just to level out.
But I'm glad that you guys like that little bit of footage there. Like
Awesome.
I do have quite a few serious videos out or that are coming out, but it's not the parody stuff. I mean, it's sort of my alter ego to be the jokey, funny guy. But
We watched what were we watching? We watched, it was a 3-parter, but the third part you didn't do for like weeks later. You put it out like last week or some shit.
Yeah.
yeah, there's
We're jumping all over looking for thumb number 3, and I'm like,
you know what's really funny is that like when you go out there and you're in the deep backcountry and you're recording all the time, you come back with like literally thousands of hours, eh?
oh yeah.
And to weed through it and remember the days and it's like on the videos there. I never took a camera before. This is all totally new to me completely. So to have a camera people there and having to make sure that they're safe, like I said, it's massive grizzlies out there, like wherever you are, right? It's very dangerous up where I am.
Now, what you say, camera people? Is that a people or a person?
I was going to ask how many
Is it
are out there
is it
with you?
McGee, Lisa? What was the other one?
Oh, there's
everything in the book.
There was one
oh yeah, there's a troop of them, and I keep saying to them, you know, like I don't want to hear it. Like if yes, I'm gonna have to come up with some outtakes because they're pretty funny because there is a group of them there, and I always say, well, if I hear you cracking around the bush, you might as well go back to the hotel room because you're not gonna find anything smashing around the bush. I take that being out in the bush pretty serious. Everybody's got to be nice and safe. No, I don't want anybody getting hurt.
Safety first, absolutely.
Safety first, and you know, like the firearms that I do carry, they're big, they're nasty. It's a 1 ounce slug. It's ugly.
Then you do it. You going slug, double aught, slug, double aught,
Well, I do
slug.
double odd, double odd, slug, or I mix up the first two. I never start out with the slug. You got to give them some warning, right? But it carries a lot of pills to cure their ills. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah,
I'm not a hunter either. I don't hunt at all. It's just they're just there for defense.
Well,
I was like, wait, what?
That was a phone call. Somebody pressing in on me there, but
so what got you into all this?
you know, I'll tell you something. I started watching this YouTube with these guys, you know, doing the Bigfoot thing, and I just got tired of them. Everybody lying. say that they know what this Bigfoot's doing and what that Bigfoot's doing, and yes, this Bigfoot's twisting trees, and we have no idea. But from my own personal experiences, there's something there. Absolutely, 100%.
I haven't had any experiences as far as Bigfoot, Sasquatch. My experiences are paranormal, but I started watching some videos. This was like 5 years ago, and just got hooked. I was like, wait, there's, really Bigfoot? Like, come on. And then watched more and more and more and started learning shit. And like, you pay attention, you can learn.
Well, not only that, but I mean, you pick up small pointers and small tips, right? And that's the whole thing. These small tips that everybody's dropping, you have to pick up the small ones. And if you can pick up the small tips, like how the toes are, how the feet are, how the hands are. Like, I've got a really nice picture of a young juvenile, and it clearly shows his hands. Now, I don't know if anybody's got any pictures like that. I haven't posted it, mind you, because it's sort of, that sort of come in time. But, and there's other pictures too I got. But I'm not into the calling everybody else's stuff garbage. It's not garbage, but I mean, you can't go out there and tell them that you are the definitive answer. And that's sort of why I got, enough pissed off that I thought, well, I'm going to go and do my own channel and actually take people in the shit and say, hey, this is what it's really like. It's not 20 minutes from the truck, and you're not going to see Sasquatch every time you go out. I don't think anybody realizes that, most Bigfoot hunters, we spend a lot of money. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to go and do what we do, and it's for the love of it. It's not so much, like I say in some videos, I'm not there to capture them in a net and all of that kind of stuff. I'm not.
But you do.
To do that.
But you do.
Well, sort of, but you do, right? So, I mean, I get that. Definitely, there is a thing that you want to capture them, but on the same token, it's more of pushing them to the front in a real way instead of making up these. Yeah, he twists sticks, and I don't know. I just find that silly. I've been up in the bush lots, and there's lots of twigs up there, and there's lots of snow load, and there's lots of other animals up there. Moose. I don't know if you guys have moose down there or not.
Well, I'm in Florida.
We're in Florida. No
Papa
moose
Craig's
here.
in the Pacific Northwest, and no, there's no moose there. I've been in moose country.
Yeah, they're nasty animals.
Stop your ass.
Oh yeah, for sure. Some people, well, I should say a majority of the people they're a little scared or more scared of the moose than they are the grizzly bear. But
I can see that.
Yeah.
Be more careful, yeah. And some people are stupid enough to go out there with a sharp stick and kill them.
yeah, sure enough. I see there's a guy on here. He does. I don't know if you guys have ever watched it. He's a sloth master. He hunts things with spears, and I'm really not into doing that kind of stuff. That's the next level, right?
It's a little too up close and personal.
Well, it's like I do say this in the video. Like, I don't go and hunt for the reason that I don't need the food. But if we were in a situation, which I think all of us that are talking right now, I'm pretty damn sure if we want to eat, we're going to eat.
Oh, hell
Yeah.
WTF Mike wants to know, what camera are you using? Please don't say it's a 90s cell phone.
No, there is a cell phone, but I got a couple of Heroes. I've got a couple of camcorders, and it's a couple of cell phones. That's it. That's all I roll with.
Right on.
Oh, and one of those little flying things. Like I say, I'm all new to this, you guys. I like when I got a shout out there, I thought, this is the first one, and I really appreciate you guys asking me to, hey man, why don't you come on out and I really appreciate that because this is
Absolutely.
totally new for me.
No, we like to promote newer channels, and so we, like I said, I put it in a comment. Why don't you come check out the show? And
Yeah, and I did.
promote it.
I've been waiting. Like, I mean, it's like you guys have some. You know what I like about the show that you guys put on is that it's not all serious. There's joking. There's conversation. It's just nice.
A lot of times we don't even talk about Bigfoot.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah,
times
exactly.
We'll
shows without
spend more time talking
Bigfoot.
about fishing or the other day it was music.
Yeah.
Now I heard somebody in the last video there about walleye. You guys have walleye down there?
No,
Not in
here.
Florida, but in the States, yeah.
Yeah.
Like my first walleye I ever caught, and the last one was in Arizona.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite fish, hands down.
Yeah, I'm
Boneless walleye with a little bit of beans and some fried bread. You can't beat that. And some corn.
Are you
Green
First
corn.
Nations? Are you First Nations?
No, I'm actually what I am is I'm called French Cree, right? So that makes me a Métis. Is actually my sort of my heritage, right? Would be Métis.
Okay.
As you can tell by the sort of the sharp nose, and well, it's not so much square anymore because I'm getting a little older, but it used to be square.
I was just curious because something you said in some of the videos and led me kind of think that. But all right.
Oh yeah, no, there's definitely First Nations in my background for sure. Like my mom, she's Métis. My dad was white Irish, so I always like to make love the drink and love the fight, but I can't do either.
Yeah, I don't do either anymore. I was never a fighter, but I used to drink like a fish.
Yes, I used to too, boss. Back in the day, I've been known to twist a couple of down. That's for sure. Not so much anymore. Grandkids and that kind of a thing now. So,
Jamie Cotterill, how are you?
Hey, Jamie.
It says original First Nations, the Inuit. Right on.
Tina P.
yeah, I think the Inuit just got their mineral rights to the Northwest Territories there. They were just granted the mineral rights up here in Canada. So that's a big step for them. Big money.
Sure. That's shit. Surprised.
Miss Slim Twiggy, welcome. Good to see you.
Watch Talk. Check out his channel. Miss
Oh,
Slim.
I'm just happy that you guys asked me to come aboard or asked me to come and check you guys out. And I'm glad that I did because like I just feel like this day and age, everything doesn't have to be so damn serious. We can be serious when we want.
Oh, absolutely. And we are.
When need
and we try to help out in any way we can. And depending on what they need, somebody needs. If our friend of ours' house burned down.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, we did a fundraiser here.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's in Canada, actually.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. She's got a channel, Cryptids Canada.
Oh, I think I've seen that channel, boss.
That's Leslie, yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen that channel.
Yeah.
She's got some good content there. There's nothing wrong with her content at all.
She's
family.
Yeah, she's family.
I enjoy her research and her stories for sure. Mind you, let me tell you something. She wasn't one of the ones where I said, "Hey, I'm sick and tired of the bullshit." That's not. She definitely. I want to make that clear. So
she's just a storyteller.
She's a storyteller.
Oh yeah, and a real good one. Good one.
Thank you for posting that. He posts your link to your show. Your channel.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that.
James already subbed.
You're getting subs right now. You're getting more subs. We could probably get you over 100, hopefully.
You know what's really cool besides the sub things is that further stuff that I get and I want to show, it would be nice just to come on and chat about that kind of stuff too, right?
Absolutely.
I just, like I'm from Canada. I used to work for American Hawaii Cruises as a youngster there, and I've been all over the place. But Canada has treated me pretty good,
Right on.
pretty good. And I just enjoy meeting other people. Now, you guys are in a place where everybody always thinks, like up in Canada, we think that is the creme of the creme where you guys are. The creme of the creme.
The
God
state.
hasn't made it the same since he made Florida, right?
Florida.
Florida.
It's too damn hot. Not right now, but
This past summer, this is like my going into my third year here. I'm originally from the East Coast, New Jersey.
Oh, the New Jersey Tough Boys.
But the last 12 years, I lived in Arizona. I've lived in Wisconsin, a few different places, Nashville.
there's not many people in Florida that are from Florida.
Yeah,
Everybody's a transplant.
not everybody.
I mean, most.
Well, that's how each of our countries are becoming.
True. Very true.
Without getting off the rails there. I mean, I'm just saying.
Just going to catch up and chat here
I've
real
been in
quick.
Florida for 23 years. I'm originally from D.C., Washington, D.C.
Oh, is that right? So you're on East Coast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jay Fritz, how's it going?
Born and raised.
Yeah, I just blurt out shit like I have Tourette's. Just saying it to people.
People in chat.
That's what it's all about.
So have you had any really exciting encounters with Bigfoot?
Off the top of my head, I've had just one there that I'll tell you. It's I was a young lad. Used to have my little dog Spike, and we grew up in a big family, and I was always going out and playing, skipping school, mind you, grade 3, skipping school, grade 4. And I'd go into the bush and make a fire and make chicken noodle soup. Those little bags of chicken noodle soup. And I could see him waving back and forth in the bush. I was only small, but I could see him waving back and forth in the bush. And he was chucking pebbles at me, but he wasn't trying to hit me. He just wanted me to get out of there. So my dog wasn't even alerted. I just packed up. I think I left the chicken noodle soup there, to be honest with you.
Well, I have gone looking for Bigfoot exactly one time. Nana said she wanted to do it. I said, that's not what we do, Nana. We don't do that. But I had talked to this Central Florida Bigfoot guy and got me a decent camera with a big aperture, big lens that you can see back in the shadows and get a good picture. So I'm sitting, we went up camping, set up camp, and we're sitting in our lawn chairs and by our little tables and drinking coffee and stuff or whatever, and watching the trees because she wanted to see when I went, I've heard them talking on this ridge at this time of year when I'm out picking mushrooms a few times.
That is awesome.
So let's go sit on that ridge. We haven't got a chance. We're never going to find one, right? Never happens. And so it got about 7 o'clock at night. And I got this camera hanging on my neck all day long, ready to go in case anything shows up in them trees, right? And so it got 7 o'clock and it's, sun's right level on the ground. And we're in the head of a meadow in the head of a little canyon, at the very head of a canyon, And so I take the camera off, set it on the table, walk 10 yards back behind me over to this. There's a great big giant tree and a couple of little trees under it. And I figure, it just rained for 3 days, so I figured that would be where I could find some dry tinder. So I'm in there breaking these little twigs off, and Nana goes, Papa, get your gun. Get your gun. They're here. They're here. And I'm going like, who's here? She goes, Bigfoot's here. And I've got my head in this tree, right? And I'm thinking, what kind of crap's she pulling on me again? What's going on this time? And then the other half of my mind is going, expecting to turn around and see 4 Sasquatch standing in the dang meadow with us or something, because she said they are here. And
you make a good point, because I've been in a couple of spots where I've taken people out with me, and we're out there, we're doing the IR, and I look over to them and I say to them quite often is that, we're looking for them, but do you really want to see them?
right.
Do
So,
you really want to see them? Because it's
well,
could get ugly.
no, but nobody ever believes this story, because I don't cry when I tell it, and I don't remember everything just the same way every time.
But that's the beauty of it. It's the small things, right? It's the time of year. It's what were you actually doing? There was no firearms. It was just, I mean, me carrying firearms. A lot of guys say don't do it. I mean, I've got a nice wolf shepherd that I'd love to take. I got him for that reason. But I definitely don't want him dragging grizzly bear in too, because he's a little young right now. He's only just about 3 now, so I don't want to have any injuries. I definitely don't want to get hurt. That's the main thing.
So we had a little 22 Magnum pistol for wolves, because we have wolf problems, and they try and get my dogs. So if they try and get my dogs, I'll just shoot them with that.
An attitude adjuster.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I turned around and looked, and there's no Sasquatch standing there, and I go, "Where, Nana, where?" She goes, "It was standing right in the road. I was looking to see if it had breasts. It's huge." Well, I heard a noise behind me, a big noise behind me. I turned around to look, nothing. I turned back around, and he's gone. I was going, no, I was over here, so he had to go that way. So I walked over that way, and I'm peeking through the trees and stuff, looking to, and there was things moving, right? You could see shadows going between the trees. It was pretty thick there, so I couldn't really see. And I go, "Nana, there is stuff moving back there." And then after a while, I saw what looked like two black and white deer hopping over each other.
Wow.
And
leapfrogging.
And what that was the feet. The soles of the feet were light, and he's
like
picking them up.
Like a buckskin look.
But I thought it was like a couple of deer hopping over each other out there 100 yards or something. But this was feet at 30 yards. And when it came out, it stopped and disappear. I mean, it would stop, and I'd go, I can't see any deer standing there. I can't see anything standing there. I'm doing this. Look, right? Look, now I know why Bigfoot does that, because I'm trying to see if anything's hiding behind trees, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So,
Jim, take care. Go ahead.
So finally,
Good
night, Jim.
the deer start hopping over each other again, and he steps out into the open, and I'm going, oh, my jaw's on the ground, my heart's in my throat, but I didn't panic, and I'm trying to catch everything I can catch out of this. It's for about 3.5 seconds. He went up. There's a meadow across the top of near the top of the ridge, right? And then the trees start back up again. And he went up into the open a little bit and back into the trees and disappeared. And I'm going, arms are all right, built like a brick shit house.
Yeah.
Hair was about 1 foot long. He looked like a guy in a ghillie suit. And when we went back and measured the next day, he was 9 feet tall.
Wow.
And I saw other stuff moving out there, but I didn't fall for, there's something moving over here. I'm going, no, what? And I remember just going, holy shit, they are real. I thought they were, but it hits you like that, and I am looking at one, and he let me see him.
Absolutely, 100%. I was just going to mention there, just for the people that are listening or watching or whatever, that a lot of hunters they think that women are should be part of the crew.
Yeah,
For
Nana's.
for some reason, it's I don't know. They put a different vibe off than a male does, right? Even
Less
I've
aggressive.
got a few stories about autistic children. The same thing. There's something about that where I don't say that it's pity, but it's definitely curiosity. I think that's what draws them in. And if you think about it, if you're a male, why wouldn't you come and check a girl out in the bush if you're out in the bush? You don't see them every day.
Right, right. That's definitely activities way up with Nana. You know, I might see one every 10 years. To go out with her, it's about 1 in 4.
Well, there's a few all women research teams out there here in the states that um, they get a lot of activity when they're out there.
Oh, I don't doubt that at all. I don't doubt that at all.
Me.
So here's what's funny about this sighting too. I looked up at the Bigfoot's going across there. My jaws dropped. I turned around, looked at Nana, and I go, "There he goes." That's the Paul Freeman.
Freeman, yeah.
There you go.
Probably said it just exactly like that, dumbass.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway,
you weren't breathing as heavy as he was, but yeah, I got the gist. That's for sure.
and then the other thing I saw was that damn camera sitting on that table.
Yeah.
And I'm going like, yeah, I'm an awesome researcher, aren't I?
See, you know, there's things there that like they don't, like a lot of people don't understand is that, you know, if in fact that they are like a form of humanoid or whatever you want to call them,
Just
they gotta have games. They gotta have every culture I know has some type of drink that they make, some type of hallucinogen. I would like to know what they do in playtime. What the heck? Where do they do? What do they play? You know, like all the. It's always just this is what Bigfoot does to us. I'd like to look at it from the other end and see, hey man, what do you guys do for games for fun? Right? They got to have some kind of communication. They're not just walking around like a bunch of bozos in the forest.
you think? So yeah, that was, and then you know the rest of the night. Not too long after that, off in the direction this thing went, I heard that scream. It's like a 3-tiered scream. You know, 3 tones: high tone, middle tone, and low growlish tone.
Mr. Hugh, take care.
And then we also heard them beating on trees. They weren't doing this.
Yeah.
They weren't doing that. They were. You can tell when they're hitting a tree covered with bark, and you can tell when they're hitting a buckskin snag, and you can tell when they break the stick they hit, and it goes flying through the air. We heard all those things.
Wow. I mean, I've heard a lot of things out there, you know, being as deep as that I do go. Like the last time, some of that footage that, like I've just posted, that's 150 miles northwest of Powell River, BC. So if you look on a map, like that's a way up there. Like, I mean, there ain't nobody up there I mean, it's typical thing. It's you are 911 when you're up there. That's it, right? And
Yeah, you
you
heard
hear
that.
lots of things, and you get scared. Like I mean, I still get scared when I'm up there, and I think if your senses aren't heightened like that, you shouldn't be up there anyway. And it keeps you out of trouble.
I was an Alaska fishboat captain for 15 years. And,
Now there's a tough profession, right?
and I've
there.
been in battles, and so I handle fear a little better than.
Well, I think you know, the average person, if the shit hits the fan, all you're going to see is the bottom of their feet going through the screen door, right? So it takes a special kind of person there to stand up and keep their wits about them. And I've been in enough situations. Maybe I'm not the best, but I definitely things slow down where you can make sense of it. You got to train yourself for that. because usually, I mean, if the shit hits the fan, it's panic or freeze, or you're making mistakes. So keep your wits about you, be calm, carry a big stick. That's what I say.
Yeah. Well, there was no deal, and this guy would have done whatever the hell he wanted. 9 feet tall, perfect shape, you know. Anyway, it was kind of funny too. Nana said, get your gun," and I hollered out, "Nana, that gun we got won't even hurt a Sasquatch. It's not
Yeah.
for them. It's for the wolves." Just in case, you know.
Jamie Carter says Albert Ostman set out from Powell River when he got abducted by Sasquatch.
And that's a good point that you brought up, because that most of that footage was, I would say, maybe an hour by boat from the Toba Inlet where Albert Ostman went in, and that was my original plan, was to go out there and retrace his steps, because there's a few pieces in his story where he's left things, and you're deep in there, and that was the plan, was to go in to see if I could find a few items that he had left behind to really close his story out. And the other part was there was another YouTuber there saying that he was full of shit. And, you got to remember, of the time that Albert Ostman was talking about this and he had his run-in with Bigfoot, nobody really knew Bigfoot. It wasn't in the mainstream. It wasn't popular. And he's talking about the bottom of his feet, how they're gripping, how they're talking, how they're chattering. And today we know this. Well, we don't know this, but evidence is pointing in that direction. So how would he attribute that to Bigfoot if he didn't see it himself?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't looking it up online.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm old enough. There was no internet. There was no cell. I remember when I got my first cell phone, it looked like a suitcase with a cord on it.
The brick.
Yeah, the brick. That's right.
Sunlight Bay, welcome. Good to see you.
But the fishing there, how long did you do your commercial fish for?
15 years.
Wow.
We would cruise up from Seattle and cruise back down every year to get the boat worked on. We were stationed out of Sitka and a little town called Port Alexander on the southern tip of Baranof Island. But we would go by Bella Bella and Tobin Inlet and Powell River.
Bella Bella is beautiful up there. Heavy Bigfoot presence up there, by the way, too, in Bella Bella.
Oh, I found that out.
Yeah.
The place feels kind of weird.
Oh, yeah, it's different. And the people are different up there, too.
And it's hard to navigate through that thing. It's just hard to run through the currents and the rocks there.
But it's funny there that you did a little commercial fish. Well, I shouldn't say a little. 19 years. That's definitely a shift. But I went out for a few seasons there on a trawler, and I hated when I was out there. I hated it. Hard work, slugging her all day, and at night the shutdown, and it feels really good. But you go back to shore, and you can't wait for the next trip, because the funnest part of the trip is on your way out of the harbor, right? You got your coffee cup, the smell, the sounds, like that stuff in your blood.
I don't know how many years I says, "This is my last trip, kid. I can't feel my hands."
No doubt.
And you went back for more.
Oh yeah.
That's called the life of a sucker. I've been in that situation, well, most of my life. I keep going back to weird spots.
Once that seed bites you in the ass, you can't leave it alone very easy.
They say blood, same with gold mining, and I think a lot of it can be said for Bigfoot hunting too, right?
Yeah, I don't do it anymore.
You do get like Bigfoot fever, like you would gold fever.
Yeah, it's almost like, and it's well, I shouldn't say it's almost maybe a little addiction. Might be a little addiction. I've had a few
You're
people
upset.
say like, "How many pack decks do you need, Shane?" Right?
I just figure around here they are so scattered. I figure, and so good, so sneaky that I'm really just not going to see them. So there's no sense in looking. I don't have all the equipment. I don't want to learn how to use all the equipment. I got a lot more fun things I do in the woods, and I'll leave it up to you guys. But I know they're there.
But
Didn't I?
it's funny. It's funny you said that because you said the exact thing. I don't go looking for him, and he showed himself to me.
Right, right.
Right? So you can go and look as much as you want. It's up to him, pal. It's up to him.
It's up
I,
to him.
I tend to
I
agree.
know.
I haven't seen Bigfoot myself. I can't say that I have. I don't know some of the shit that I've seen. I don't know what the hell I was seeing. Honestly, but
what Stevie
anytime I
has?
ever had yeah, Papa Craig knows because he was witness to some of the footage and video or pictures of what we saw. But
And I saw them the next day.
yeah,
They were freaked up. They were freaked out, dude.
Okay,
What are the pictures of Stevie?
I did a
There's-
camp out up on the Mogollon Rim in Arizona. Stevie came from Florida with Jay Fritz. He's in
he was
chat.
in chat.
Judy Wheeler. They came out.
We drove up from Florida to Arkansas, picked up Judy Wheeler, who's normally in chat, and drove out to Arizona to meet up with Papa Craig and some other people that we were all just camping out up on the Mogollon Rim. And on the way there, we made it fine. We get up on the mountain and something happens and we're stuck on the mountain top with no signal, we hadn't seen, we were
Like
up
stuck,
there.
flat tires stuck.
Yeah.
You know.
We were up there for 12 hours just about and didn't hear signs of another human life of any sort. No planes flying over. There was just nobody. We saw two. There was a side by side and a ATV when we first got out of the vehicle after we first the tire blew and we're stuck. And we tried to wave them down to help us out, and they just looked at us like you're fucking nuts and kept going. And that was the last we heard of any signs of another human all day. We were there half the night.
Wow.
And they saw a lot of different stuff in the woods and took videos and
Pictures, videos, and yeah, what I was getting at is I've seen a lot of shit and I've experienced a lot, but every time that I've been out there in any situation, anything that I've ever experienced, I wasn't looking for it. We were stuck up on a mountain, in that case, when my experiences with what I think is Bigfoot, I was screamed at twice, 2 different times in my life that, I've searched for years when Google became a thing, trying to just compare sounds of anything on this earth that would sound like that. And everything led me to this community that, hearing audio and clips of other people's experiences and, things that they put online.
Jamie says, Stevie had a sacrifice.
You've said it, Stevie, because it happens when you don't expect it, and that's true.
When you're not looking for it,
yeah,
it's
true. It's true in friendship. It's true in love, and it's definitely true hunting Bigfoot.
I agree.
But other things happened, like they took pictures while they were there, and these pictures changed. Like,
wow,
Papa saw the pictures when they first got back, and later on, what he saw in the picture wasn't there anymore.
Hell, there was one sheriff with
The
5
faces
hours for them
disappeared.
to send anybody to help us, and send one sheriff. And as we're getting ready to leave, I show him my phone. Well, I told him, he's like, let's get going. I'm like, yeah, I can't get off this mountain soon enough. After the shit we saw today, he was like, oh, what'd you see? I said, well, I got a picture. So I got pictures. So I went back to the very first one, that very first picture that I saw. He leans in the window of the vehicle. I'm in the driver's seat. I just turned the phone to him and showed him. And the look on his face, he didn't even rear up yet. He didn't even stand up straight yet. He just looked at me, his eyes watered. He said, we got to go. And he turned around. I said, wait. He said, "We gotta go. We gotta get the fuck out of here now."
Wow.
That's how clear that picture was.
And then there was.
And then by the next day, when we finally met up with everybody, the next morning, or was it? I don't even remember what time it was. By the time we got back up on,
It was before noon.
Yeah. So the next day, barely 12 hours later, the pictures we watched them gradually fade, disappear. There were some that just were. I mean, when you take a video and you go to retrieve it, you see the arrow to push play.
Yeah.
So all those videos that we took on the ride out there, because I mean, coming off the hill is a whole nother story that we did. Judy was in the passenger seat, took a video. We're trying to pull all this and dump it on a laptop, and there's no longer video. It's just a black picture with that play arrow in the middle of it. You know, because it was nighttime footage. We were driving, so she had her hands on the elbows on the dash with her phone and was recording the ride out, and all that just turned into just a black screen with the play button. You know,
That is fascinating information. You know that is fascinating information. I think this would be the first time that there would be manipulation to photographs after the fact.
I've heard it, and we've heard it since then about
100%.
other people.
Yes, and that's the funny thing is I never really heard much about that before I experienced it, and then since then I hear people, and I'm like, see, you know, that's
wow.
And you could say I could talk shit all I want, but there was 3 of us there. You know, it wasn't like I was by myself. There was 3 of us. We all had our own individual experiences, but we were there together throughout the whole thing. So, yeah, whatever happens.
Like you say, Stevie, about I'm saying it like I'm saying it's the truth, like you're trying to convince, but like I think what everybody's got to get over is that like you don't have to do that. You've seen it, you experienced it, right? Nobody can take that away from you at all, and to have somebody else judge you like that, well, obviously there's another issue at hand, and if they were to have the similar experience, they probably need a diaper.
First off,
he just said they need a diaper. Bristol said, "What? Hold on."
Or people like me, pucker up. It's a pucker factor, so I can't go for a week.
Bristol, I was there, but I wasn't there for the experience. I was at the camp.
We were trying to get to
They were trying to get to us, and there was no communication. I had to travel 5 to 7 miles just to get a signal.
So when you guys go out for a camping sighting, or just to even look, or to go and play out in the bush there, like how much prior planning do you guys do for that kind of stuff?
Oh, I had said when we were up there stuck, if need be, we between the 3 of us had enough supplies, because we were headed to camp out. We had enough supplies to last us easily a week out there. Just with what we had between 3 of us. Hell, we sat there. It was probably 10 o'clock at night. We're all sitting inside the truck, and to distract ourselves, we had dinner. We sat there and had dinner, and so, we had OnStar, so the OnStar was our lifeline, basically. Trying to get somebody out there, but they got a hold of 5 different agencies. It took 5 hours for them to send one sheriff. And after he got out there, it wasn't long before he pulls us off the mound that I was stuck on and helped fix and repair the tire. And we're discussing the route out. There's gunfire about 200 yards behind us. And it was automatic. I was Army. I know that automatic sound. I've fired many. It was automatic fire, and Jay, me, myself, and the sheriff, all 3 of us dropped. I mean, I was in between our truck and the sheriff's truck. And I'm sitting in the headlights when I dropped so hard, dust just went dirt, because I was trying to dig us out. Jay and I.
They spent a lot of the time under the vehicle trying to dig it out.
Under the truck trying to get us out of
well, with automatic fire, under the vehicle is probably a good place to be.
But
what you don't know about Stevie is a double amputee.
I am.
So she's just below the knee. She wears prosthetics.
I'm on
from service?
No, I kind of wish. No, this was I had a bone infection, and basically it almost killed me. So it was save my life, take my legs, you can have them. You know.
Well, just by your voice and just talking to you, you seem like a pretty tough lady.
Thank you. I am.
You're welcome.
You gotta be. I
Good
mean,
judge of character.
A good judge of character, absolutely. And you were talking about like the automatic fire that's behind you. Do you think that there's anything that the government's saying or knows that we don't know?
Oh, I after this experience, yes, I do. And it's just my opinion. I don't know shit. I always say, what do I know? I don't know shit. But
Yeah.
just from what I experienced, I believe, yes, absolutely. I know that there was multiple agencies that were in contact, and I know at one point there were more than one agency was on the line. You know, so everyone was well aware of our situation, and it was, to me, I got the sense that they didn't want to send anybody after us. They didn't want to be up there. They didn't
Yeah,
want
period.
to. I mean, it took 5 hours to send one guy, and that guy had an attitude when he got there. When he originally first got there, he was like, one of the first things he said was, "What in the hell are y'all doing up here?"
Yeah, he probably didn't want to be up there either, Stevie.
Yeah, no, they didn't. But later on, when we finally did get back, after we left, we camped out, about 4 days after that, Papa? How many days were we out there after we got back? About 3-4 days. We left. Papa Craig and his wife drove back home. Everybody dispersed. We went back to Moog's dad's house, the three of us, and with him. And
we stayed there for another couple of days.
We
went up to the Grand Canyon.
The first night back, I mean, this took a lot out of me because I saw some shit, and I've done a lot. I've experienced a lot in my life, but this really kind of fucked with me a little bit. It still does. It still does, because I don't know what it was. I couldn't even begin to describe, or I can describe it, but it just, none of it makes sense to me. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, Mike, all in Arizona.
But getting back to his dad's house that first night, get everybody settled in and everybody's off to bed. I get up, I can't sleep. I pretty much crashed when I first got there. I slept hours. I mean, I was just done. I get up about 2 a.m. His dad's house, there's a porch, an upper deck that overlooks, like, Sedona's on one side. You got a mountain range on one side. You look behind you, you got another. You got a valley down below. It's just beautiful. Open sky. I'm standing out there with my phone. The light from my phone was too bright for me. I wanted to see the stars. So I took my phone, I set it down on the rail, upside down, turned it off. And I just, I was in awe of all the stars and just the serenity of it, All of a sudden my phone lights, I see it light up first, and then I get notification. Ding, 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 ding. It was 8 of them, and I'm like, what the? It's 2 a.m. and everybody's knocked out, and anybody that I care about immediately is right here with me.
What is going on?
I pick up my phone and I have text message from the same number, 8 different messages back to back. It was the same exact message, and to me, it was. I can't recite it. I don't remember word for word what it was, but it was so bizarre. To me, first thought was military code. It's a
wow.
Here that someone's telling someone, military code. It was just a bizarre, nothing near what I'm about to say, but it was something to the effect of, so and so home, I'll be home, something, to take care of father. And it was the wording of it was
weird.
It was bizarre, but 8 messages in a row, back to back at 2 a.m. I started looking around like, who the fuck's watching me?
Yeah, exactly.
Timing of it, and just the message that I got. So, and then thereafter, for months on that same phone, I was getting text messages from not the same exact number, because trust me, I called that number. And it was, you call a number, you get a voicemail. It's normally a female voice, generic. This was a male voice. It was a message saying that this number is not accepting calls at this time, but it was a male voice. I thought that to be odd. But then I was getting text messages for months after that with just one word messages: stop. Quit.
Wow.
And I'm like, is somebody trying to tell me quit talking about this shit? You know, I mean, I don't know. I'm just speculating, but I'm just saying it's just all bizarre. But the fact that the photos and the
Big,
video,
gave me a little bit of goosebumps there, Stevie, because I do tell a story. Like I did have a confrontation with military when I was out, so I can empathize with that because you can't fathom really what's going on. It happens real quick, and what are they doing? What do they know? That's the thing. I know for a fact they know something, right?
Oh, they
I mean,
have to.
yeah,
They have to.
yeah,
There's no question about that. In my mind.
yeah, that was a hell of a trip.
no
That
doubt.
Jamie
Well,
said
you
before the
got to
trip,
see the bottom
they
of the
had
truck.
back What was that?
I
So,
said Stevie got to see the bottom of the truck.
So did
so
Jay.
those guys
was
are
He's on
those
one
guys
side,
are
I'm on the other.
people.
We're digging with hand shovels that I have for my metal detecting kit. You know what I mean? We didn't have shovels or anything to dig ourselves out, so a lot of it was by hand, and it was this hard clay. You couldn't chisel at it. We were at it for hours.
Go ahead,
But
Papa.
but when they could leave, they were smart enough to go.
Oh,
There you go. There you go.
Because
oh! If you'd have just seen the look on the sheriff's face when he said, "We got to get the fuck out of here," I said, first, the only thing I can muster up, I said, "Lead the way." Just I don't know what the fuck was going on. I said, "Lead the way." I was ready.
after I saw that after I saw that gigantic man walk off when Nana and I were looking, I went over the pickup. She's over there to get the gun. It's in a little backpack. I grabbed the little backpack, started back towards the table, and go, "What the hell, Nana? If you want, we can get in this pickup right now. It's pointed right away from us, and we can just drive off. We can come back and get this stuff next week, But we can just leave right now." And she goes, "I'm not really scared to death. Let's stay and see what happens." And that's when we heard all the, some more knocking and stuff. And the next morning, I went out to pick some mushrooms, and I went around that big tree that I had my head stuck in. On the other side of it, here's a 16.5-foot track.
Wow.
And a 10.5-foot track. And there was, a few more scuff marks. I mean, it had been raining for 3 days, so it was perfect for tracking, but they don't leave hardly anything for tracks. I mean, right here in the mud, big, beautiful tracks. Did I have my camera or any plaster of Paris?
Well, that's the thing, and I think that's what everybody has to come to grips with is if they show themselves, you'll be able to see them. If not, just have fun and do what you're doing, and just
Yeah,
time to get off the couch. Right
right.
there's the thing.
I'll tell you about it, and you can believe it or not. But yeah, anyway, so I started up the hill, and I says, "Hey, I just want to pick some morels. Ain't no big deal here. I don't want to. I'm not trying to prove you were there. Blah 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 blah. Right? I just want some morels." I got up the mountain a ways. I got to the brush at the top, and I start hearing this. It's a little wren that ticks like that. They're hide back in the thick trees, and they're walking around on the trunk, and they've got just a little kind of thing like that. Anyway, I stopped. It stopped. I started up. It started up. And I go, this game I have played a lot of times out in the Wallowa Mountains with something. And so I did that a couple more times. I'd go, it'd go. I'd stop, it'd stop. I went, "You're up there, aren't you?" That's you, isn't it? Because I'd seen on a researcher's channel that he says, there's that ticking again. They're paralleling me. Right? And I'm going along doing that, and then I see there's a big gap. I went, "I'll catch him in the gap." And I took off running for the gap. Well, I took one step, and there's rocks rolling down out of the gap.
I've had lots of that. I know what you're talking about, the sounds and stuff, and it gets spooky up there. That's for sure. But I mean, obviously, nobody wants to shoot one, right? Like I don't want to shoot one. I'm not into that kind of stuff.
They're
I mean,
people. I've seen
if
them.
he
They're
attacks
people.
me, obviously I'll try to stop him from attacking me, but I'm not going out there. So if you see those, like the rifles there that I carry, some of them get rather large, but it's bear. It's grizzly bear. Like that's my main thing that I'm nervous. I love grizzly bear too, but they are unforgiving.
They might see you as a meal or a play toy, and they're not
Oh, they
nice.
definitely know this old fat guy is probably pretty tasty.
Yeah, that would help them right through hibernation.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I think it was pretty quiet like that. I went back and told Nan about the ticking. I says, "Man, I haven't heard that since like back in the '70s." And I can't remember on that first day. We heard some whoops and a couple of tree knocks. Right. The next morning, so this would be day 3. Nana got up early. I slept in. Her and the dogs went for a walk down the road. I mean, this road's like the middle of nowhere. Anyway, she went for a walk down the road. I just laid around, goofed around, and drank some coffee. And she comes back. Oh, yeah, the day before when I went mushroom picking, the dogs wouldn't go with me, and that dang Rosie will go she wouldn't, but she stayed with Nana. And Nana came back from her trip with a little basket of mushrooms and said, "I heard that ticking. I know what you mean." I says, "It went when you went and stopped when you stopped, because I've heard that ticking a lot and gone in there, and yes, there's a little wren in there, right?" But so then the last night,
Have you seen anything when you were in service over in?
no,
Nothing like that.
no,
Because
none
there
of
is
those.
encounters over there too.
None of those. I never even heard about the rock apes, but that's just how it goes.
There's a lot of
But
stories.
anyway, the last night, we heard them. We would be sitting in there, and the dogs are laying right beside us. Right, instead of the dogs playing we had a nice meadow with a little marsh. Stream with a little marsh where they just could have rolled in the mud and had the best dang time, and they just stayed by us. They didn't go places. But they'd be looking in those trees, they'd just be laying there looking. And then when they'd perk up like that, either Nana or I say, "I think somebody's sneaking up on us." And from all the noises and everything, the best we could figure was that there was a family. And the kids were playing games, so let's sneak up on the stupid humans that don't know jack about the woods. And they were doing it,
True that.
and one of the mornings also, the first next morning, whatever, Rosie is running through the woods with her nose straight to the ground, tracking that Bigfoot, right where he walked through, right? And she's like a puppy. She don't know any better. Trigger wouldn't do it. The big yellow lab wouldn't do it. He's been out picking mushrooms with me before, and he's come running back and hid right behind my leg quite a few times. But she said, "Let's play some music." And I went, "Okay, what should we play?" "Well, the only thing we can get. It's country music station." And so we like country. I walked over, opened the doors because I have great big speakers in my doors, and started to turn on the radio, and I just hollered out in the woods, "You like country? Here we go." And, so I cranked it up. And a few hours later, just as it's getting dark, then it goes, "Listen, Papa, listen to this. Listen." Right at the end of this song, there's 3 big drum beats, and something's keeping time to them on the tree out there.
Wow.
So I'm listening and listening. And she goes, "Okay, here it comes. Listen." And it's boom, and it's about 75 yards away, so it's just a split second later after our music, and so you could hear it, and it was boom, 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 right on time. She goes, "They like that song," she says. They like. Well, I said, "I don't like that song. What the hell's wrong with them?" But we were going to stay the whole day, but we got up in the morning and packed up, just going, and it was like absolutely silent. I forgot this part. All weekend, no birds, no nothing, absolutely silent. Last morning we woke up, a hawk come flying right through her, and the birds were chirping and stuff, and we packed up and drove along the side of the canyon, and when we drove over the ridge to leave that canyon, I could just feel
Yeah, I've been
were
right there. Yeah,
we were really tense the whole weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. See, when I go and do my expedition, sometimes I'm out there 30+ days at a crack, right? And so I find it's got to be at least 4 days. It's 4 days when you begin to hear, when you begin to see. And you have to climatize to yourself, your hearing, your vision, how you're feeling, and it all depends on what your food is. You got to climatize to that too. So
So now, when do you go out? Do you camp out?
I bring like I've got some toys there that I bring, but that's sort of what is my question before was like when I go out, like the logistics of it is it's phenomenal the amount of gear. Like I take welders, chainsaws, like the whole 9 yards. Like it's I have big mosquito catches and electric fence.
Yeah.
What is it?
That
30
electric
miles of electric fence he brings.
Yeah, that electric fence, like I do steel cable too. There's traps that I set as well that beep, and there's solid beeps, and then there's it's almost like a phone buzzer, so I can tell if it's north, east, south, or whatever. It's mainly for grizzly, but that fence that I've got, I think that's about 11 joules that it's kicking, and 11 joules will knock your shoes right off you.
I love it that
So
you say a couple of times. I heard you say that no matter what, you got to sleep.
yeah,
Like,
you're absolutely right, Stevie. Sleep is number one thing for me when I'm out there. I like to go to sleep. I don't have to worry about what's outside, what's coming in, because your mind plays tricks on you, and you get scared, and you want to keep everybody safe that's there, and that's the logistics of it. It's the hotels, it's the fuel, it's the clothing, it's the tent, like that, like the camp two for my tent, so like 6 meters round. So I mean, it's not a small tent that you're packing, and
I saw you. It's not a bell tent, but similar, right?
yeah, it's similar to it. It's a duck fabric and
Yeah.
quick easy pop up, mind you, but
Big enough for a
it's
stove.
it's definitely logistics, and it's hard to get the gear in there. And when gear malfunctions, your trip is done, right?
Sure.
So I mean, I try to do my side by sides. I have old side by sides because it's they're carburetor, so I can adjust for elevation with these fuel injected things. I've been on, you go and the trip costs you, 7,000-8,000 bucks to go for your little trip, and you're done in about 3-4 days because the elevation and your fuel injection system is done at that altitude. So there's lots of things to take into consideration like that. Clothing, run into snow, you got to have snowshoes. You got to have,
Oh, yeah.
like everybody always bugs me about, taking way too much. And that's why I discuss that about the Sherpas in the videos.
This one here gives
Stevie
me hell.
overpacks.
He says I overpack, but I have everything I need, But he
And
always
then some.
he always yeah, and then some.
See, Stevie, if you overpack, see, that's the thing. If you overpack and somebody who runs out, well, they're going to come calling for a favor,
Always.
right?
Yep. Always. It's better to have too much than not have enough.
Absolutely. And that, like everybody
Dang,
always says,
Stu.
do doubles of everything, do doubles of everything. But most of the time I'm doing triples. I'll do
Oh,
triples of everything.
you
Like
got me beat.
literally. Boots, shoes, hats, everything. It's triples. Guns. Well, guns I do a little bit more than triples, but
And I wouldn't even think to bring. I mean, like extra boots. I mean, I'll wear boots and then have a pair of sneakers with me or something. But to bring extra boots, I wouldn't even think of
I
that.
don't have to worry
oh
about
yeah, no, it's definitely like the normal. I would be like four different types of boot.
Oh wow!
Because the rock up in the mountain, it's sharp, like it's sharp, and it'll shred. And I don't go out and buy $1 million gear, right? So a lot of my stuff just gets chewed right up. Like on that last one that I was saying up in Foul River, when I got back, I have a Ford F-350 V8 that I take up there, and it's not 4-wheel drive; it's a big long box. It's a big truck. And when I got back, just the rock alone trashed that truck. I had to go. I think it was probably about 5,500 to fix it when I got back.
Oh jeez.
Just chewed my front end right up, feathered all my tires. Like I mean, it's and so now I've just purchased here in the last let's see month and a half, I guess. I've got a little Jimmy, a little 19 or 2005 little Jimmy Blazer, little 4-wheel drive. So I'm going to start beating the shit out of that now. Did you like the video that where I received my funding from the Jurassic Park owner?
We didn't
We haven't gotten
see
that
that
far.
one
Don't
yet.
spoil it.
We started at the beginning, so like when you go on your
Okay,
page,
that's the very first one. And I was in a restaurant in I think it's Lillooet, BC, for all the people that want to look at the maps and everything. But I happened to be sitting in a restaurant, and I was looking across to this guy, and I thought, you just look like that guy off Jurassic Park. So I ate my burger, and I went over to him, and I said, "Hey, do you mind if I do a little filming with you, and I'll buy you a supper?" So he agreed to do that. He isn't the Jurassic Park guy, but it was just so funny that I had to tell him, "Hey, just give me the tap on the shoulder to hunt Bigfoot and spare no expense." And I thought, just crazy things like that. That's puts a smile on people's face, and that's what I like about the whole thing. Is just to be nice to each other.
and you look, you're having fun out there doing it.
Yeah,
You know, I
and
appreciate it.
it's like Papa there picking mushrooms. He loves. I'm assuming you love to do that.
He's also a hunter. He gets out
Oh, is
there.
that right?
Yeah. I gave up hunting years ago, so
I've never been. Never hunted.
What
Nice.
did you use to hunt there?
deer, a lot of whitetail. Never killed one. I've butchered them. I've field dressed them, but I never killed one.
Wow. I just it's like it's sort of a thing with me. I just if I need to eat, pal, I'm gonna eat.
Oh, absolutely. I know
But
how.
but these MREs, that's sort of what's keeping me going when I'm up there. And that was the other thing. Your body has to adjust to eating an MRE every day. I would imagine a few people can attest to that.
Yeah, I was a cook in the army. That was my MOS, but it was an infantry division, so I was pretty good with weapons. I usually go anytime I go in the woods. I have my weapon with me. And that particular trip, and this is the damnedest thing because I never will leave my weapon behind, never. And that trip, I left it under my seat in my truck in Jay's driveway the whole trip. Didn't realize.
Wow.
Didn't even realize it until we got up there and got stopped that I didn't have my weapon with me. We didn't have any weapons other than knives, you know.
You see, that's the thing. You know, you're not looking, and you have these experiences, and you have this, and it doesn't have to be Bigfoot either. There's lots of other paranormal out there, right? There's lots of different types of paranormal.
There is for sure. For sure.
Medicine time for Papa Craig.
Better take my meds.
I thought we won something there for a minute.
Yeah.
The 1 million served.
Yeah, 1 million,
1
1 million serves. But
Yes.
So
yeah,
anything else for hunting that you guys have done?
I
oh
used to
my
bird hunt
gosh,
a lot.
you don't even want to know.
bird hunts,
I
dude.
was a survivalist.
Wow.
And also, I've been an archery hunter since 1968.
So you could be like the proverbial Rambo. You would eat something that would make a billy goat sick. Is that what you're saying?
I've done that, but I don't think I would do it anymore. You don't need to.
You don't need to. Yeah, that's right.
There's plenty of
Like,
fish,
you had to.
fowl, and fur. I was just wondering though, do carnivores get their fiber from the hair? Just
That I couldn't tell you, boss. That I couldn't tell you.
I don't know. You always see their poop just full of that stuff. I would imagine it's really great fiber. I'm not eating the hair. I'll wear
Depending on the hair, I guess.
it. Yeah. Well, there's that.
Not going there.
I'm really old. I forgot about all that stuff. Yes.
Shut up, Jay.
So
How's
Tina
that
G
go?
says, so I've been hearing a lot about these lizard men of western North Carolina in the mountains.
Tina, I don't even want to know about it. Oh my God, that sounds scary.
I've actually heard a little bit about those. Yes, sir, Bob. And there's compelling research for that. You know, we don't. I mean, some shit out there that I don't even know.
Oh,
Did I
there's
really
shit
even
out
see
there
it?
that none of us know. What Jay and Judy and myself saw. No idea. No idea.
Yeah. Did you really even see it? You know, like.
Well, three
I
of
don't
them
know.
saw it. So yeah.
Yeah. We saw it. We saw it all day.
No, but you see it, but it almost seems
No,
not.
the first
That's the
thought
thing.
to my mind was, what the fuck am I looking at? Like, what the fuck am I seeing? And I'm looking through the phone, and I'm looking, and it's bizarre. Bizarre shit.
Blazer says V was a documentary.
No, there's definitely lots of. You guys have anything like a Wendigo down there?
You hear stories of them.
Of what?
Wendigos.
Wendigos.
We don't have anything like that here that I know of. We got a thing called a hide behind. It's a big blob shadow that'll you'll see it on the ground. It'll look like, why is that shadow there? And then it'll move behind a tree.
It's got to be, like there's different things that like it's funny that too because there's research that there's some creatures out there that we can't see, right? If we had special witnesses, right?
Yeah, I've seen it a couple of times and went, I don't know if that was real or not, but I really saw it. So, and then I found out that the pioneers that moved in around here were always talking about the hide behind.
The hide behind.
That's what they called it, a hide behind.
Jay Fritz says, King, I saw something. Stevie saw it too, as Judy as well, but we have no clue what it was.
No idea.
So didn't you say, Stevie, that Jay walked out there to those Christmas trees? One of them was reddish brown.
He walked out to the trees where he was the original one he was the first one to see whatever it is we were looking at, whatever was out there.
There were white things peeking around from behind a tree that were shaped like Bigfoot.
No, not really. It was
one was, and the pictures Judy showed me were of Mogollon monsters, plain as day, and their faces disappeared.
See now, I want to hear the rest of that story, but when I was listening to your last live that you guys were, and then I put the name together, Like there's the Mogollon monster,
That's his channel name, his screen name.
but is there no? But is there there is a monster like that? Yeah.
Correct.
It's a Bigfoot,
Sharon's
yeah.
calling it Bigfoot.
So what's
And-
the story? What's the story on him?
I don't know. They sure seem to be highly supernatural, though. Like
goes back.
everything in
That
Arizona.
area that we were camping out, there's been sightings, there's been encounters of the Mogollon monster, which is Arizona's Bigfoot. That's somebody deemed it that name because of the
Wow.
area. So where we were camping out, and all this happened. We were up there in that area.
I think it got named
Known to
Monster before they ever found out or ever heard the term Bigfoot. That's not a very old term.
Yeah, it goes back. Stories go back. I mean, I don't know how as far as Native Americans go, but back to the 50s, the 40s. There's stories from up there. Boy
I was
Scouts
going to say
went up
that,
there to do
like
something.
that Mogollon. That sounds almost like Iroquois, or it sounds definitely of native descent.
It's supposedly it's a prehistoric tribe. That's one thing I heard, and that's how it got its name from up in that area because it borders Arizona and New Mexico.
Yeah, I hear that there's some freaky shit that happens in New Mexico.
Oh yeah, I've heard a lot too. Four Corners region.
Arizona too, the Superstition Mountains.
Yeah, superstitious mountains. Or what is that? I think there's some kind of encampment there. I see a few videos out on that. I think they did some kind of little research out there with the government there. They made fences, and I can't remember actually the name of it right now. But
That is Bradshaw Ranch.
yeah.
That's in Sedona.
That is a fascinating story. I don't know what's true. I don't know what's false. But if even a sliver of that stuff is true, that is one wild place.
Yeah, I've been by it. I used to. I worked in Sedona for 4 years. We rented side by sides, Polaris side by sides. So we'd get out there all the time. Yeah, that had a lot of different stories from portals to Bigfoot to dinosaurs, maybe. There was a bunch of different stories that happened.
Yeah. Have you guys ever heard of the story about the Headless Valley?
Yeah.
Nahanni?
Nah,
The Nahanni Valley?
Yeah. That's going to be one of my trips.
Uh-oh.
don't
It's
lose your
been
head.
nice. Been nice knowing you.
I gotta go now. No, it's going to be one of my trips in the future. It's like it's on the bucket list. You can't get in there. It's super protected. And I have found a way in, but it is overland. And it's going to take a small string of horsehair to get in. So it's going to be, the logistics on that one's going to be like off the chain. So,
Wow.
I mean, that's a bucket list, the Honey Valley. I want to go up. I have to go up.
Yeah, that's quite an expedition. That would be cool. Yeah, way
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
You'd have to keep your shit together. That's for sure.
Just without
Don't
any
lose your head.
headhunters up there. Just don't keep your.
Well, no, because it brought to my mind there when you mentioned the prehistoric tribe, because it's a similar issue up there. Is what they're thinking that's doing this, right? So
Okay. So possibly not necessarily Bigfoot.
Not
well,
necessarily.
you know they call it like when I'm up there. Sometimes it's you you don't want to go insane. And I think you were mentioning sort of along the same lines, Papa, when I first started listening, was you get lonely up there. And when
Yeah.
you're super lonely, your mind is, you got to keep your mind sharp. And I think being up there in that Nahanni Valley, whether it's a lot of people are saying that there's some type of sound or there's some type of some type of psychic energy that makes you go a little bit nutbag up there, and who knows? But it's definitely on my bucket list, and it's something that I want to do, and I'll make it happen.
Look forward to seeing that.
Cool.
That'd
Yeah,
be cool.
absolutely.
Because I have unlimited funding from the Jurassic Park owner, I'm allowed to do that kind of stuff. So,
Right on.
And you're the Bigfoot king.
And you are the big
and I'm the, and I'm the Bigfoot king, which is the most important thing, I guess.
Later, Jay. I gotta go too.
Yeah, Papa, go take your meds.
Do you know what, you guys? It is absolutely been an honor to speak to every one of you. I would like to come back another day and
Anytime,
You're
man.
welcome anytime. That's what this show is about, you know?
I just
I put that link
appreciate
in chat every Tuesday and Thursday. So
I just appreciate chatting and with like-minded people, and
Great
and
bunch
that
of
you're
people.
open. You're open to all of this, and that's the main thing that I want to push out there. Just be open. I'm not telling you out there cracking trees and
I guarantee every one of these people that are in chat right now have had an experience except for one.
except
And I
for
say
one.
that because there's a known skeptic. Yeah, love a guy, like to choke him sometimes, but WTF Mike he is definitely a skeptic. He doesn't believe in Bigfoot.
Well,
So,
the thing is that
we welcome
he's,
anybody, you know?
he's probably the luckiest one out of all of us, right there.
Yeah, exactly.
But thank you very much, you guys, for letting me come on and do some chat, and
Oh.
we'll talk soon.
My pleasure.
was
Thank you.
Definitely. Nice to
Great talking to you. Thanks. Yeah.
If you
Have a
want to
good
hang
night, you
out,
guys.
if you want to hang out backstage for a little bit, we'll be done in just a minute or two.
We'll talk for
We'll
a little
talk
bit.
a little bit more.
If I can get some of my tech team to figure that out, I will hang out.
Just stay.
Just stay where you are. Don't hit any
don't
buttons.
hit anything.
Okay, don't do
We'll be
nothing.
backstage.
Okay,
Thanks again.
no problem, you guys.
All right, Papa.
Papa, it's always good to see
Thank you for the stories. Thanks for hanging out.
You bet. I figured it had been a while, and there was people here that hadn't heard that one.
Oh,
And I thought I'd just throw it out there because it's so flippin' unbelievable.
Isn't it all? I mean, that's the thing.
Not as unbelievable as Stevie's, but
I tell you.
That was crazy.
Sometimes.
yeah, I know. You'd go, really?
Yeah.
Was it my vagus nerve messed up or something? What the hell? But when it's multiple.
In that regard, I don't know how Jay held on to his encounter for all those years without telling anyone. I'm just amazed by him.
I did that. I had an encounter in 1968 and didn't tell a soul about it until I told it to you guys.
Yeah,
in
you guys
2020.
holding that in for that long. It's amazing to me because.
Well, I didn't believe they were real. I didn't know what the heck I had heard and stuff, but there wasn't any
such. It could have been that, yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's no Bigfoot. It can't be that. It's just. I mean, I would have seen him walking around out there, in all those years of being really, really sneaky and hunting with a bow and stuff. Nope, they're that good. And when you think about it, all other animals, their muscles, everything, they're so much stronger and faster than us. What the hell are they eating?
Put us to shame.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Papa.
Thank you.
Good night.
We're gonna land this plane.
Okay, later, Tina.
Have a great night.
Good night, Papa.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you guys had a great time. Please be sure to check out the Bigfoot Kings channel. I know a lot of you have. A bunch of you subscribed. Thank you. It's fun. He does get out there and check it out and, figure it out for yourself. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we did.
Papa, thank you so much for coming out. Bigfoot King, thank you. Everybody in chat, if you like the show, please hit that like button. If you're new, subscribe, share it out.
Leave a comment.
Definitely leave a comment.
Comments are fun.
And I'm glad, everybody was here tonight. We'll be back on Thursday, so we'll see you then. Same time. You know how it works.
Mm-hmm.
You guys take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Love you guys.
Good night, everybody.
Peace and God bless.